Hi guys, welcome to Lingua Marina. As you might have noticed, I've just come back for my vacation. So I feel really energized, ready to create more content for you, ready to share what I know about English with you, and share how English is improving my life every single day. Because remember, English is your instrument that helps you achieve your goals. English is not your end goal. It's just something that empowers you to see the world, to explore the world, and to bring your expertise to people from different places across the world. And by the way, I was traveling. I went to Guatemala, I went to Honduras, I went to Panama, I went to Mexico, and I went to Belize. And everywhere I came, I got DMs from you guys saying, "Oh, Marina, you are in my country," and this is the most exciting things. And every time I get a DM like that, I thank I thank my English language for that because my English is actually helping me to connect with you guys. If you're watching from one of those countries, let me know in comments down below. I fell in love with every single country. I really like Panama just because I didn't expect it to be so like wow. All the high rise, it was really beautiful. I've already mentioned some countries where I've been to Honduras, and you're wondering maybe why I didn't say at, why I didn't say in. So today we are going to talk about these prepositions. I'm going to share some rules that people use in determine which preposition to use. So if you're ready, let's start. Let's do it. Today, we are going to talk about the most common prepositions at, in, and on. So let's do a quick quiz. He lives blank 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 13 Long Street. And you have to select either in, on, or at. And then I'm visiting my grandma on or at a hospital. I like traveling to blank 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 a train. Now you're gonna get the right answers at the end of this video, but make sure you write your answers down so you can check yourself later. Now let's talk about some rules. The first, the first rule is when we use at. At is used with very exact place thing. Small building, like something that is small, you will always use at the door, at the hospital, at the school, at the university, at the table, at the door. So something specific would always be at. But when you're thinking about big things like I don't know Panama or Guatemala or St. Petersburg or London, you would never say at. Because at only applies to smaller things. And London, Panama, Guatemala, those huge geographical locations, so you can't be at London. But you are in London. Yeah. But I'm at the desk. I'm at home. I'm at my studio. I'm at the bus stop. And then we use on with streets and avenues. I live on Park Avenue. I live on Green Street, so on is always with the street. But please remember, there are always exceptions. Like if you're talking about university and you're talking about campus, you say I live in campus. I live on campus. Sorry, campus is this location where you have your dorms, your class, you have your restaurants, cafeterias, and the other like that. So on campus would be an X section, but normally on is only used with streets. Now we are talking about the street. There is another thing to remember. When we have a number, then we use at. I live at 13 Green Street, at 45 Townsend Street. But when we don't have a number, like I'm asking you, where are you right now? And you're answering Market Street. You don't give a number and then use on Green Street. So at is used when we give the full address, street number. And then on is when we just mention the stream and when we talk about something bigger than the stream. And then we use the preposition in. So for example, you have different parts of town. We are having lunch in Chinatown, or we are having lunch in Naples. This is like a district here in San Francisco. And with cities, as I already mentioned, I live in London, I live in New York, you live in New York, we have been in New York for 2 weeks. We are in all those hills. And with states, I live in California, and with parts of countries. Example, my friends spent vacation in the of India, and with countries, I used to live in Russia. with continents. My sister is in Africa. So to sum things up, we use at with specific location, on with less specific location, like streets, and in with bigger location, like cities, towns, countries, parts of countries. And now let's move a little further with our prepositions. I gave you some basic rules, but now we are going to explore more examples. In is also used when we are talking about an enclosed space. Example, something that has a roof, something as walls in a car, in a box, in a building. I'm waiting you for in my car. I'm waiting for you in my car. Can you please help me to find a pen in this box? Don't put your wallet in a pocket. Now, listen carefully right now. We are moving to on, and we use on with a bus, on a bus. And you might ask Marina, but why in a car but on a bus? Wait a minute, I'm gonna explain. To the other words that we use on with are words that represent surface, like this table is surface. On a table, your floor is a surface. On the floor and wall behind me is also surface on the wall. We also use on when we talk about left and right. On the left, on the right, next to or along the side of a river. For example, Cambridge is on the river Cam. Now, interesting part, why in a car but on a bus? And it's used with means of transportation where you can't stand up. Oh my god, English, you're so complicated. So you can't stand up in a car, so you say in a car. You can stand up in a helicopter, but you can stand up on an airplane, so on an. Another thing that can be super, super, super confusing for you guys. Sometimes you hear in a hospital and sometimes you hear at a hospital. Both of those are grammatically correct, but guess what? They have different meaning. So when you are saying I'm in hospital, that means you're patient. You're a patient. You're actually receiving treatment. I don't remember the accident. I just remember waking up in a hospital. My uncle is in the hospital right now, receiving treatments for his, I don't know, acne. I don't know if you go to the hospital for that, but he broke a leg. He is in a hospital. Let's do that. I'm giving birth in a hospital, but you can also say I'm at the hospital, but that would mean that you are just doing something there, that you are not a patient. I'm visiting my uncle at the hospital because you are at the hospital, not as a patient that receiving a treatment. You're a guest visiting your uncle. In college, my brother volunteered at a local hospital. Again, he was not a patient. This is why we use at the hospital. The same goes for school, museum, library, or any other institution. And we also use ad with events. I'm at this Lady Gaga concert. Okay, guys, I hope it wasn't super confusing for you. Again, if you want to make sure you remember all the prepositions, make sure to follow the link below and download the free chapter of the grammar book. And if you feel like you are willing to invest your education, just a little sum of money using 66 of the grammar book will be even chapter for you because cheaper for you because you are watching this video. And now let's check your test. I guess you already know everything, but let's do it anyways. He lives at 13 Long Street because we give the full address. We give the number and the street address. And then I'm visiting my grandma at the hospital. Why? Because I'm not a patient. She is a patient. My grandma is in the hospital receiving treatment, and I'm visiting her at the hospital because I'm not a patient. And then I like traveling on a train. You can also say I love traveling by train, but this is another topic for another video here because we remember that we can stand up on the train we use on. I like to travel on a train. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. The links are below, and if you're not yet subscribed this channel, please hit subscribe button. And if your friends are learning English, please share this video with them because I think it's super useful. I'm very humble. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next very soon in my next videos. Bye.